Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Babagbagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Buhari to Nigerians, learn to appreciate what you have. Reps approve restructuring of extra 1 trillion naira ways and means requests. Nigerians won't lose old notes after deadline. Godwin Emefiele. Insecurity report on Abuja overblown, says FCT minister. Fuel scarcity endangers our plans, INEC cries out. NANS want all tertiary institutions shut down until after elections for PVC's collection. Major General Adeniyi assault estate chairman over plans to disconnect electricity. To another, bandit kill 3, kidnap Christina traditional ruler's daughter. And foreign story, Nigeria cannot afford to fail in 2023 general elections. UN warns Buhari. Finally on sports, Basero charges Flying Eagles to win on the 20 AFCON. Now the news in detail. The president said during his visit to Kano in a statement issued by his spokesman Femi Adesina at a state banquet where he lamented that Nigerians only realize their country is better when they visit neighboring countries where they only have one good meal per day. Speaking after commissioning several projects executed by the federal and state government and the private sector in the state, he described the development in the country as a fantastic one. He therefore urged citizens to always appreciate their country, stressing that the situation in the country is not worse compared to other countries. He said, "We have a great country and we do not appreciate it until we visit our neighbors and other countries where the preoccupation is for people to have one good meal a day." Moving on to the next story. The House of Representatives has approved the requested restructuring of 1 trillion naira additional ways and means advances for implementation of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act passed by the National Assembly. President Muhammad Buhari had requested an approval of the money, but the House is seeking further engagement with the executive to allow for thorough and detailed work and submissions on the larger part of the advances, which amount to 22.72 trillion naira. The House, like the Senate, said it will consider the 22.72 trillion naira after properly engaging the executive. On December 28th, the Senate stepped down the restructuring of the 22.7 trillion naira ways and means request until more documents were presented for further legislative action. Moving on to the next story as regards the redesigned Naira notes. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has bowed to the demand of the House of Representatives for a gradual phase out of the old Naira note. Its governor, Godwin Emefiele, who appeared before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee, said Nigerians would lose the old notes after February 10th extended deadline. He said while the old notes ceased to be legal tenders after the expiration of the deadline, Nigerians can still take them to the bank for exchange of new notes or deposit the old notes in their bank's account. Section 20(3) of the CBN Act 2007 provides that the Apex Bank should continue to accept the old notes until they are phased out of circulation. They said the CBN stands with the position of the House of Representatives on the provisions of Section 20(2)(3) of the CBN Act, assuring Nigerians they will not lose their money. According to him, you will not lose your money even when it loses its legal tender. You can take it to the bank, pay into your account, but we should please allow this policy to succeed. He however said the Apex Bank was aware of the pains Nigerians were going through, but assured that they were doing everything possible to address them. In case you're just joining, you are watching this world news from BGI TV. Next to come. The Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister, Malam Musa Mohammed, said most of the reports bordering on the security challenges in Abuja are exaggerated. The minister made a reassuring declaration yesterday at the 20th edition of the President Muhammadu Buhari Administration Scoreboard 2015-2023 in Abuja. He said although the federal capital had issues with security challenges, substantial progress had been made in that area through active collaboration between the FCT administration and the security agencies that have been able to curtail the activities of infiltrating, trying to relocate to the territory from various areas where there are ongoing intensive military operations against terrorism and banditry. The minister said security agencies and the FCT have remained alert and have, through and thought of regular tactical and kinetic operations, ensured that the criminals find no abode in the territory. He added that the FCTA had also intervened by providing equipment and cognitive support to the security agencies. To the next story as regards the general election. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has expressed concerns about the continued scarcity of fuel across the country, saying the development could hamper election by logistics. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu disclosed this on Tuesday in Abuja at a consultative meeting with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW. Yakubu said the commission would later on Tuesday meet with the management, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to look into ways of ameliorating the situation. The commission shares your concern about the fuel situation in the country and its impact on transportation on election day. The truth is that our arrangements may be negatively affected by the non-availability of the product. For this reason, the Commission will this afternoon meet with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to look into ways to ameliorate the situation. To the next story. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, have asked President Muhammadu Buhari to temporarily shut down all tertiary institutions until after the February 25th and March 11th elections. The association stressed that the shutdown would allow students to obtain their PVCs. Subsequent to the extension of deadline for the collection of permanent voters cards, PVCs, till Sunday, February 5th, 2023, and considering the fact that the general election will commence in a few weeks' time, the Office of the NANS Vice President, External Affairs, calls on the federal government of Nigeria to immediately close all tertiary institutions temporarily to afford students the opportunity to collect their PVCs from their local government areas and vote in the forthcoming election, says Akintaye Babatunde, NANS Vice President, said in a statement issued on Sunday. On Saturday, INEC extended the deadline for collecting the PVCs until February 5th. The NANS statement said the lack of synergy between INEC and the management of tertiary institutions made it difficult and almost impossible for students to participate in the electoral process. To the next story. Emmanuel Eje, chairman of Fatima Gold Estate, Karu, Nasarawa State, has accused a high-ranking officer, Major General Olusegun Adeniyi of the Nigerian Army, of mobilizing his orderlies to begin for notifying his wife's hotel of a planned disconnection from the estate overloaded transformer. This is to inform us that one Major General Adeniyi of Top Rock Garden beat me this morning to entrance of our gate over the notice of disconnection of their premises from our transformer, an emergency security notice shared with landlord and resident of the estate said. As I was trying to explain to him, it didn't allow me to talk, and the next thing I saw was slap and punches on me, the full glare of our security, residents and bystanders. It took the grace of God and pleas from people to disuse him from inflicting serious injuries on me, Mr. Eje asserted. A notice of disconnection was sent to Top Garden on January 25th, informing the hotel owner that the transformer meant for residential buildings could no longer cope with the extra load of powering the hotel located outside the estate. People Gazette learned that the transformer got fault last October and cost 1.7 million naira to repair, prompting technicians to recommend that extra load to be taken off to avert a total breakdown. To part of the north side. Bandits in the early hours of Tuesday killed 3 persons and kidnapped the village head's daughter in Kukar, Babangida village, Jibia, local government area of Katsina State. Politics Nigeria report that the criminals who stormed the community in their numbers had attacked a neighboring village, Dara, on Monday, where they abducted 5 women before storming Kukar Babangida village. The spokesperson for the Katsina Police Command, SP Gambo Isa, is yet to respond to his newspaper's inquiry concerning the attack. Banditry and kidnap for money is a major problem in Nigeria, especially the northern region. Katsina, Zamfara, Kaduna, and other northern states are being at the mercy of bandits, with authorities finding it difficult to curb the scourge. 2 foreign story. The global organization also stated that the only path for a nation to succeed was through sustainable development, which it had been advocating. The United Nations on Monday advised the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government that Nigeria should get it right with the 2023 general elections and must not fail. The global organization also stated that the only path for a nation to succeed, as earlier stated, the UN Deputy Secretary General and Chair of the UN Sustainable Development Group, Amina Mohammed, stated these in a keynote speech she presented at the Nigerian Bar Association State of the National Dialogue with the theme Security, Economy and Administration of Justice. Only 3 out of the 18 Nigerian presidential candidates turned up for the event. They are Omoyele Sowore of the African Action Congress, Peter Umadi of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, and Al-Mustafa Hamza of the Action Alliance. As Africa's leading economy, with the biggest port of views and security anchor for our neighbors, Nigeria cannot simply afford to fail, Mohammed said, and reminded the judiciary as a member of the bar, you have a key role to play to advance the country's aspiration towards 2023 general elections. Mohammed said that the UN would support any process that would lead to credible, all-inclusive, free and fair general elections in the country. Ending the world news this hour is a sports story. Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro has charged the Flying Eagles to make the country proud by winning the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. Recall that Laden Bosu side are drawn in Group A with host Egypt, Mozambique and Senegal. The Flying Eagles are the most successful side in the history of the competition with 7 titles. Peseiro visited the teams at their training base in Abuja on Tuesday morning, tasked the players and the technical crew to ensure they beat the other competitors to the title. I came out to see the team's training, see the players and give them my moral support, Peseiro was quoted by BSN Sports. That ends the world news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari to Nigerians, learn to appreciate what you have. Reps approve restructuring of extra 1 trillion naira ways and means requests. Nigerians won't lose old notes after deadline, CBN governor. Finally, on sports, Peseiro charges Flying Eagles to win on the 20 AFCON. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagide Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on the screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawa, and word from the Mabo state that for all to succeed in life, we all need a referral, but you need to watch your character and attitude. Once again, good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just into BGI TV, BGI TV, you're one in a million.